Welcome to our new session. So today we are going to deal with a prose. So are you ready with this, students? Yes. So before beginning the chapter, before moving on to the chapter, we can discuss about house and home. So if we want to distinguish between one house and home, how we will differentiate, students? What does a house stands for? What is a house? You have to tell me what is a house and what is a home. Do you have any exact definition of house and home? So, when we talk about house, we can say it is a building. Am I right, students? And also, when we talk about like our home, what comes to your mind? Anything comes to your mind or not? Yes, it is all about the relationship. Okay, students, here in the picture also you can see there is a relationship between the family. Okay, and there is a bond between the family. There we can also say that there is a affection between the family. So therefore we can say that we can conclude that so this is actually if there is any love or bond or affection, we can call or we can consider it as a home. So otherwise it is just a building, we can term it as a home. Okay, students, so tell me, anyone able to guess the chapter name? So it means actually it is, this is not this. That is the chapter name. What it is? House is not a home. A house is not a home. So let's begin with our interesting chapter, that is A House is Not a Home by Zan Gaudio. So before beginning the chapter, let's see an introduction about the author Zan Gaudioso. So I will read this to you. Zan Gaudioso is an author based in California. She has contributed stories to and edited the famous Chicken Soup for the Saul book series. These books consist of short stories that seeks to comfort and inspire readers. Zan has also co-written The Buddha Next Door, Ordinary People, Extraordinary Stories. So if I talk about Zan Gaudioso, she is based on California, and she is a co-writer of Chicken Soup for the Soul series, and she also an editor of this same series. Okay, students, so here you can see the Chicken Soup for the soul. Okay, so you have to tell me what is a series means. Actually, a series is a sequence of books having certain characters in common or similar and are formally identified together as a group. Okay, students, and here you can see she is actually and the Chicken Soap for the Soul also contains inspiring and entertaining short stories, and it is especially for who students, for the teenagers. So she has also contributed some of her story for the Buddha Next Door, and also she has contributed to some like some of her short story to Ordinary People and Extraordinary Short Stories. Okay, students, so let's see the main theme of this short story. So, before you read the story, there is a small description about the story. So, who wants to read this? Yes, this is a story that reflects the challenges of being a teenager and problem of growing up. How does the author overcome his problem? So, are you clear with this theme, students? So, before you read the story, there is a small description. That is what I have written here. So, what does the teenager means? Do you know what is teenager? We can say teenager means a person aged between 13 and 19 years. Okay. So in this chapter we can see about the teenagers problem. Okay, maybe you will actually, definitely we can say, you will confused about this term, that is his. Actually the author is Zan Godiozo, and narrator of the story is also the like Zan Gaudioso. But for narrating this story, she has developed a character that is a male, and the character is a boy. So here she is frequently using, or she is using him, like that. So are you clear with this, students? So in this prose we are going to discuss the problems being a teenager, and also we will discuss the thin difference between house and home. As I told you, there is a difference between house and the term home. Okay, students? So let's begin with the prose. Before that, you have to answer me for this question. Why being a teenager is so difficult? Do you know why? There is any factor? Yes. So you can write in the chat box also. Otherwise, you can send message. So, before moving to the next slide, I would like to ask a question. What is a home? A house only, a property where people live together and share a bond of love. What do you think, students? Which is the correct answer? Yes, C is the correct answer. So, as we discussed that, actually a home means where people live together and share a bond of love and care. So students, let's move on to the next slide. So here is an activity for you, that is draw something about your school and share your feelings towards your school. So you have to draw something, whatever comes to your mind, that doesn't matter, you can draw, and you have to share your feelings towards your school too. So let's see the very first passage of the prose, where you can see the author's school experiences. So I will read the prose to you. My first year of this school felt awkward. After leaving junior high at the head of my school, with all the seniority the upper grade level could afford me, it felt strange starting over as a freshman. The school was twice as big as my old school, and to make matters worse, my closest friend were sent to a different high school. Do you know the meaning of awkward and freshman? So here you can see a picture. The trees looks like a awkward. It is awkward tree. What it means, students? It means strange. So hard to deal with this tree. Actually, this tree is awkward. So it be like a awkward. So it is a strange thing. It is a strange thing. And for freshman, so I will give you an example. A student who is in the first year of high school, we can call him as a what? Freshman. And a student who is in like in the first year of college or university, there we can also use this term freshman. So who will summarize this passage? How the narrator is actually explaining her first day of new school. Do you know? Yes, students. So, as the narrator entered the high school, in the first he felt strange. And in the junior school, he had been the head of the class and had enjoyed the privileges given to a senior. Yes, you know that she was privileged in her junior school. She went to the next school, it was a high school, and she was definitely a fresher. Okay, students? And the author is also comparing the new school with her old school. This school is very big as my old school. She is also mentioning the big difference between her old and new school. And he is saying his friends had got into other schools, okay, and therefore the narrator was isolated and lonely in the new school. And so tell me, anyone of you could relate with this? When you left your previous school, when you shifted to high school from junior school, how was your feeling? Yes, so you can definitely relate it with, especially because the entire story was about all about teenagers problem, and how to overcome from his challenge, okay, this challenge. And this is the second passage of the story. I felt very isolated. I missed my all teachers so much that I would go back and visit them. They would encourage me to get involved in the school activities so that I could meet new people. They told me that in time I would adjust and properly end up loving my new school more than I had my old one. They made me promise that when that happened, I would still come by and visit them from time to time, and I understood the psychology in what they were saying, but I took some comfort in its nonetheless. So for this word isolated, do you know the meaning of isolated, students? Here you can see a picture. She is isolated. What it means, students? Isolated means lonely. Okay. Then what is the meaning of nonetheless? So it means in spite of this fact. So it is used as a synonym for in spite of this fact. So the author is actually explaining her loneliness, and how she is explaining, students. She would go back to her old school to meet the teachers because she missed her old school atmosphere, and this teacher would encourage her to meet new people in the new school and to get involved in new school. We know that she must be a bond between her old teachers because she was very active in her old school. And they also said that after some times she would definitely adapt the new surroundings and new situation of her new school and would love the new school more than the previous one. Okay, the narrator is also adding that it is uh, the teachers actually trying to comfort me to make the new environment as very adaptable for me. And this is what the narrator is actually saying in this passage. Okay, so here is a question for you. Have you ever missed your school teachers and tried to visit them? State your emotion. So, and what was the bond between you and your teacher? So, you have to tell me. Okay, students. So, there is a second question for you. Why did the writer feel awkward during her first year of school? So I will give you the option for writing the answer. So you can write there and you can send it to me. Okay, then what is next? So what comes to your mind when seeing this picture? Are you able to recall something? So from this picture we can see that we are missing something. Am I right, students? So tell me the bond between you and your children, and which is your favorite teacher. So now we all know that we are like attending online classes, and we are really missing our offline classroom also. And so here you have to tell me what are the bond between you and your teacher, and also which is your favorite teacher, and you also you have to write why this teacher is considered as your favorite. Okay, so and in the next passage, so you can definitely see how much the narrator connected with her all teachers. So let's see the third passage of this story. One Sunday afternoon, not long after I had started high school, I was sitting at home at our dining room table doing homework. It was a cold and windy fall day, and we had a fire going in our fireplace. As usual, my red tabby cat was lying on top of all my papers, purring loudly and occasionally swatting my pen for entertainment's sake. She was never far from me. So here tabby means it is a cat. It is a kind of cat. Here you can see what it is, students. What is the physical like appearance of this cat? Yes, this is gray or brownish cat. Like that cat must striped with dark strips. Here you can see there are dark strips also. And the second word is purring. Purring means make a low continuous vibratory sound expressing the contentment. So here I will show you the sound. Okay. In this video you can see the sound. Okay, then the next meaning is what, students? Swatting. Swatting means what, students? Swatting means to hit something. When we hit something we can see say swatting. So one Sunday afternoon, Zan was sitting at the dining table and doing her homework, and the day was windy and fire was up and at the fireplace. In this passage you can see the narrator is mentioning her pet cat. Okay, her pet cat is tabby cat, and cat was actually was laying on the top of the sheet of the paper, and it was making a purring sound and was hitting on his pen for entertainment. So anyone have a cat as a pet? Yes. So let's see the words meaning. So who would like to tell the correct answer? So awkward means what, students? You have to mark. Awkward means strange, and isolated means what? Lonely. And nonetheless is means in spite of this fact. And purring means what, students? Making continuous vibration sound expressing contentment. And swatting means what? Swatting means what? To hit something. And tabby means a gray or brownish cat streaked with dark strips. So here is an activity for you. What did the cat do entertain herself? Jump on the bed, would would hit Zan's pens with its tail, shout and cry. So which is the correct answer? So you have to tell me, students. So B is the correct response. Okay, then the next thing is a recapitulation. So you have to answer for the following question: which book series is edited by Zan Gaudioso, and why did the author feel exhilarated in his new school, and why did the author visit his old school? How did his teacher encourage him? Make a sentence by using the word isolated. Okay, so you have to use this word and you have to make a sentence by using this word. So this is an homework for you. Write a paragraph on your first day at school. So you have to write your experience of your first day at school and what experience did you have then, and draw a picture about your classroom memories. So that's it, students. Thank you so much for joining the class.